Hey everybody, I just wanted to make another video about intermittent scheduling, intermittent reinforcement, and um, I want I was thinking about it today as I was walking my dogs, my babies, and I thought about kind of depersonalizing the narcissism addiction for people. Sometimes it helps to depersonalize something in order to understand how insane your involvement in it is. And I was thinking about casino addiction and gambling. Now, of course, I don't know any of you guys personally, and I don't know if you've ever gambled before or if you ever had a gambling addiction. But one time I had a narcissist sociopath friend, if you want to call it that. And she had a boyfriend that she was totally depleting. And he was so stressed that he turned to online poker and slot machine gambling to deal with the stress of having her in his life. Of course, they're purveyors of addiction. When you have narcissists in your life, you're so stressed that you are trying to stabilize yourself in any way you can in order to function in any way you can. And so I thought of him, and I thought of casino gamblers and how when they go into a casino in Vegas, they come with a bunch of their money, and they start gambling, and they may win one time, right? And they gamble, hoping to get that one dopamine hit where they're winners, right? And in the process, what's happening is their brain is processing an intermittent schedule, meaning that every single time they pull the slot machine, there are 3 boxes that come up. Like one of them is a cherry, another one is like a bar symbol, another one is a beer, and then the next time they gamble, one of them is a clown, one of them is something else, one of them is a checkerboard, etc., etc. So every time they pull that lever, they get another hit. They get a different stimulus. And their brain is processing all of the symbols in front of them to see if they hit the jackpot. And so they do this in the hopes of getting that one dopamine carrot, that one big jackpot win. And their brain, the reason why it's getting addicted to the process of gambling is because there's constant intermittent reinforcement happening. So every single time they pull the lever, there are different symbols in front of them. There's a different combination of symbols. And they're constantly looking out for that carrot, for that jackpot to come. And they could spend an entire day gambling in a casino. In some cases, if they're compulsive gamblers, they come there every single night only to play the machine. And they use all of the money they earn because they're so addicted to that intermittent schedule of finding variable stimuli. Every single time they pull the lever, there's a different pattern. There's a different pattern, and they're waiting for that one jackpot win. So their dopamine is constantly upregulated because of the variability of the stimuli that they're looking at. And the narcissist is kind of like that, in the sense that every single time you interact with them, you never know what sort of reaction you're going to get. So if you mow the lawn once for them, or if you mow the lawn, they may say that you did a good job, which is rare. They may say that you did a horrible job. They may say nothing. They may, blame you for not doing a good job. They may throw a glass at the wall, and etc. So the same process of mowing the lawn, or taking out the trash, or going to work, or making coffee, always elicits a different reaction. And so it's the same intermittent reinforcement schedule that you would see in a casino. And where am I going with this? Basically, what I'm trying to say is, you see how irrational it is to spend your entire day and night sitting in front of a slot machine and pulling a lever every single day for many, many years in the hopes that you're going to hit a jackpot. In the end, casinos make money because the short-term returns that people get are always less than the long-term gains that the casino gets. So the narcissist is a bit like a casino owner in that sense, because what he does is he lures people in with the intermittent reinforcement schedule, with the continuous reinforcement of love bombing first, right? Because love bombing is a very extreme form of consistent reinforcement. You're constantly getting that dopamine hit from them, and it's external. It's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I've never met a person like you. You're so amazing. I'm going to buy you this. I'm going to get you that. I'm going to, I want to marry you. What's our future going to be like? That future faking. So this continuous dopamine hit for somebody that has never been reinforced, right? Or is going through a bad time and it's been a while since they've been reinforced, right? This excessive dopamine hit is what hooks you to that narcissist. But in the long term, they use the intermittent reinforcement schedule of having a different reaction for everything that you do. So you develop a dependence not based on who this person is and how they love you or whatnot. You develop a dependence because of the way they manipulate the dopamine reward system in your brain. Basically, they upregulate it in the beginning to very, 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 very high levels. And then they gradually decrease that dopamine, that reward that you get over time. And that is what puts you into this, wanting to please them, wanting to do something else, wanting to get a good reaction out of them, to wanting to get that jackpot, that smile, or that, approval from them, etc. But you never get it, of course. And in the end, you bankrupt yourself. You bankrupt yourself because If you think of a slot machine player, they're not showering, they're not brushing their teeth, they're not focusing on anything else, they're not focusing on the people around them. All they're focusing on is the bright lights of the casino floor and the bright lights of the slot machine, in hopes that they're going to get that one thing, that one carrot. And so the narcissism addiction is comparable to that sort of addiction. So my question to you is, as a person that's on the other end of this and has seen it for what it is, all of this digging about narcissism, all of this reflection on the personality disorder and what it is and what it does, and the scanning the environment to see if there's a narcissist on the horizon, and the over-analysis of that. Isn't that a bit like sitting at a casino and playing the slot machine? It's like, even after no contact with them, you're still searching for that slot machine. It's almost as if your brain is wired in order to expect a different outcome from the same source, from the betrayal source. And that betrayal source is like a slot machine, in that it looks shiny, it looks bright. It, from time to time, you get a carrot of approval from reflecting on the narcissist. But in the end, it's the same machine that bankrupted you. And that's really an insight that I had, Every time your brain goes back in time and tries to analyze narcissism, or seeks out narcissism in the environment, all you're really doing is, you're like a gambler wandering through life looking for that slot machine. And it's really the reason why we're drawn to other narcissists, because we're still longing for that intermittent reward system, because we haven't transferred to another paradigm in our lives, because we're so used to those blinking lights and the constant, different reaction to the same exact process. And in the absence of that, we don't really know what to do. And I'm going to make the argument that we can regulate our dopamine in a different way to extinguish that addiction to the narcissist. I hope this video makes sense to you, and let me know what you think of it.